The Rainy Day Promise. Lila sat by the window of her small apartment, watching the rain streak down the glass. It had been pouring all day, and her heart felt as heavy as the storm outside. She was supposed to meet her boyfriend Jake at their favorite coffee shop, but she doubted he'd show up in this weather. Jake was always late, too busy, too distracted. Lila loved him, but lately she wondered if he truly cared about her the way he said he did. She sighed and texted him, "Don't worry about meeting me. It's too wet out." Moments later, her phone buzzed. It was Jake. "Stay where you are. I'm on my way." She stared at the screen, shaking her head. Jake hated the rain, and she doubted he'd go through the effort. She went back to the window, thinking of all the promises he'd made in the past. Some kept, some forgotten. Minutes turned into an hour, and Lila started to lose hope. She grabbed her favorite blanket and curled up on the couch, deciding she wouldn't wait anymore. But just as she settled in, there was a loud knock at the door. When she opened it, there stood Jake, completely drenched from head to toe. His hair was plastered to his forehead, and his jacket dripped water onto the floor. In his hand was a small bouquet of wildflowers, half wilted from the rain. "Jake!" she exclaimed. "What are you doing out in this storm?" He grinned sheepishly. "I promised I'd be here, didn't I?" "But it's pouring," she said, pulling him inside and grabbing a towel. "Rain doesn't matter," Jake replied, his voice soft. "You matter, and I know I've let you down before, Lila. But I want you to know that I'm trying, really trying, to show you how much you mean to me." Lila stared at him, her heart softening. His words felt genuine, but it wasn't just his words. It was the fact that he was standing there, soaked to the bone, holding flowers he'd probably picked himself. "You could have called," she said, her tone teasing but kind. "And missed the chance to see you smile when you opened the door?" he replied with a smirk. She laughed despite herself, and Jake handed her the wet bouquet. "They're not perfect, but I thought you'd like them," he said. "They're perfect," she whispered, her heart warming. Jake dried off while Lila made them both mugs of hot cocoa. They sat together on the couch, wrapped in her blanket, listening to the rain tap against the windows. "I know I'm not perfect," Jake said after a while, "but I want to be better for you, Lila. You're the best thing in my life." Lila rested her head on his shoulder, her doubts melting away. "You're here. That's what matters." In the comfort of that rainy evening, surrounded by warmth and love, Lila realized that love wasn't about grand gestures or perfection. It was about showing up, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. And Jake had shown up.